El Cerrito is kind of like one big family.
I guess I mostly like the diversity of the school. You know, it's not like all the stereotypes. Everyone's all mixed together. It feels like a family, I guess.
It's really nice to know that everybody's there to support you, and all the teachers and admin and all them, especially at GMP. Whenever you need something, you can just come here and they help you.
I don't know if any other school has quite a vast array of healing opportunities like that are offered here.
What we found is that the young people who arrive at school who are trauma impacted, that the school building traditionally is not set up to work effectively with young people who arrive in the building with those kinds of challenges. And so typically their behaviors are maladaptive in this setting. They may be very adaptive in other settings. The school building, the school community as a whole, over generations, has not been curious about that dynamic, but they've been very judgmental. The school building has said when young people arrive, angry when young people arrive in a lot of ways that don't support classroom learning. The response has been, you don't belong here. And the response has been to exclude those young people from this experience. That is the school to prison pipeline, because we know where those young people end up. A number of us in the school community have been in conversation over a period of time about the best way to strengthen our restorative practice here at school, and we were looking for meaningful ways to include students in that conversation and in that work. And so that was the impetus for the Culture Keepers.
You are a special group of kids that we spotted that is a leader to the school.
You know, everybody has people to hang out with, so it's like people from almost every group.
We practice peer mediation, we do mindfulness practice.
We mostly help teachers with their students so they won't have to get a referral and go out of class, so they can keep on learning in their class.
We'll try our best to help the school be less complicated for the administrators and more comfortable for the students.
Specifically, we wanted to bring them in to the disciplinary process because that seemed like a locus for a lot of suffering here at school.
Young folks get into a fight. What happens is I get suspended, other kid gets suspended. We both get sent home for a few days to cool off. We come back to the school, nothing was ever addressed. He says something to me in the hallway, we blow up into another fight. I think our young folks, they're fed up with a lot of, in a sense, like an old school way of how things are being dealt with.
We knew that we wanted to include Niroga and Dynamic Mindfulness in that process because we knew that to intervene in moments that were charged, that were maybe full of anger or other kinds of impulsive, reactive energy, that it would be helpful to give young people and also the adults in the process skills and tools to work with those kinds of emotions in ways that were not reactive, in ways that created space for other possibilities to arise. Dynamic mindfulness is a tool to allow people in those moments to come into that space really ready to do that work.
So bringing in some restorative trauma-informed practices, some breathing, some meditation, just to help flip the script. And they're doing it among their peers, and peers are buying into it, so they're just like, let's keep going.
Say somebody's getting kicked out of class, and so before they would get a referral, they would send us to, talk to the kid, try to do some like breathing work or exercises, and just try to calm the situation down to where it doesn't have to go to admin and then get referrals and stuff.
They bring a middleman into conflict mediation because sometimes when you're talking to an adult, it can feel like maybe they don't understand, and they bring in sort of a person around your age that can maybe relate with you a little bit more. And I think for a lot of people that seems a little less scary or, a little less intimidating.
We like do meditation, so I get to like calm them down, and then we'll start talking about a situation that happened. I can give my advice on how to avoid the situation again, or like how to fix it without being physical or like really loud and arguing with people. So just like calm down, think about like your consequences before you take action.
It means a lot to me because I used to be one of those students that had to get a referral. So like knowing that I can help them like chill and not get a referral so they can go back and learn what they have to, it feels good.
The work of mindfulness, the James Morehouse Project more generally, allows us to be in closer relationship with students who are up against these challenges in ways that invite them in ways that include them in the work that we're doing, in ways that give them meaningful skills and tools to work with the challenges in their lives.
Students really are hungry for tools to help manage themselves.
The culture keepers, that's a good thing they do, because they tell us just step away from the problem and blow in and out,
I know a lot of students at Cerrito, they have a lot going on, stressing off of family at school or something outside of school.
I'm not getting as mad no more because I can calm myself now. Using the mindful thing, I like use my neck. We do it every morning, so it helped me a lot to, get the stress off of me so I can move on.
I look at situations differently. Before we do this, I'd see like people having a problem or something, or people arguing, and I just go whatever. But like if I see that I can like help the situation, and then I'll kill the situation, calling people down.
It touches my heart because I really put my heart into being a culture keeper, and whatever help I can do in the school as being a leader or anything, I put myself to it.
It's the skills, it's the resource and capacity, and also underneath that it's the relationships that they build with caring adults and with supportive peers that allow them to feel like they belong here in the school community, like the school community is responsive to their needs, and that the school community supports them in their effort to live lives that are really more closely aligned to their own values and commitments.